You know what's still relatively new? Folding phones. And just recently, Samsung has taken the lead to announce some folding devices. Are these going to take over the entire phone industry? We'll have to see how this goes throughout the years, but for now, let's talk about the new Galaxy Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3. Okay, let's start with the Z Fold 3. So Samsung has announced the third generation of the Z Fold, so how does it look? Well, it's made out of armor aluminum and is lightweight, which Samsung claims is lighter than a cup of coffee. Also, compared to the Z Fold 2, it's similar, so kind of hard to tell the difference. That's until you notice the camera bump. Instead of being a huge square like Galaxy devices have had in the past, it's much smaller in width, and all the lenses are in a single oval. Oh wow, when was the last time I used the word oval? Okay, moving on. Otherwise, the other difference between the two devices would be the size, which you would notice when you have them side by side amongst each other. There's two ways to use this phone. First is the traditional way with it being closed, and you have a 6.2-inch cover screen, also 120 Hz. Second way is when you unfold the device, you are greeted with an inner 7.6-inch display. That's 29% brighter than before. Now, speaking of the camera, you have three lenses on the back, which all of them contain a 12 megapixel sensor. There's telephoto, wide angle, and ultra wide. Now, for the front camera, you actually have a couple of them, but one of them is very interesting. First one is on the cover screen, which gives you a 10 megapixel sensor, but on the inner display, you have a 4 megapixel under display camera. Okay, before I get too excited, let me explain what this means. This camera works a bit differently compared to, I guess, what you can call traditional camera sensors in the past. You know how with no bezels and you're watching a movie on your phone that you tend to see a little punch hole? That's basically the camera, and with this under display camera, it pretty much hides itself when you're doing certain things. When I saw that, I was like, what the? It's like your phone's a movie theater now. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 octa-core processor, containing 12 gigabytes of RAM and a 44 milliamp hour battery. This also has stereo speakers for a multi-dimensional sound. And it's also the first folding phone that's water resistant with an IPX8 rating. Is it time to go for a swim? I think so in this 100-degree weather. Alright, with this awesome phone, how is the software? Well, it's awesome from first glance. With this being what I call a foldable tablet that can make calls, you now have better multitasking. That inner display allows you to use certain apps as if you were using them on a tablet. So like one side of the display can have a list of your text messaging chats, and then the other side will have the actual conversation of that particular chat that you're engaged in. Or in email clients, one side of the display can have the list of emails, and then the other side has the actual content of the specific email that you have opened. But you know what's even better? Running more apps at the same time. I use this feature on my Galaxy Note 8 once a while, and now with the Z Fold 3, you have a much bigger screen to do that on for more capabilities, getting what Samsung calls a PC-like experience. On top of that too, there will be a new S Pen that's coming out specifically for the Galaxy Z Fold, so that you have a pen that you can use on your screen that doesn't put quite a bit of pressure on it. For this to happen though, the inner screen needed to have two digitizers, which is exactly what Samsung has done in this case. One digitizer on each side of the display, improving durability, and for the S Pen to have improved responsiveness. The only drawback is the new folding edition S Pen that Samsung's calling it will be separate and is not attached directly onto the phone, like the Note series, which is what I really desire. So you would have to carry around another accessory should you desire this. Now when Samsung had their Unpacked event on August 11th, that's when pre-orders started. And the Z Fold 3 starts out at $17.99 and will be coming out on August 27th. $17.99? What? As you can see, the Galaxy Z Fold 3 is really impressive. Especially if you're a business type person, this can come very handy. And I'm really digging it. But we can also see that this won't be for most people, which is why Samsung has also announced the Galaxy Z Flip 3, the third generation of the Z Flip. By the way, what do you think of this video so far? Be sure to rate it down below and subscribe if you want to see more. So the look of the Z Flip 3, similar design to what you found on the Z Flip 2, but with some differences. One of them is a much bigger cover screen when the phone is closed. You now have a 1.9-inch cover screen that is 4 times larger than the previous screen found on the Flip 2 that just seemed useless. Plus, you have a much bigger camera lens where each of them have a 12 megapixel sensor. The two lenses are ultra wide and wide angle. Then of course, the other difference between the Z Flip 2 and the 3 are the size. Okay, now let's open the phone. Well, okay, I don't have a physical flip phone to open, so... When you unfold the phone, you will see a 6.7-inch 120Hz display and a front-facing 10 megapixel camera. And this thing's powered by a 5nm processor, 8GB of RAM, and a 3300 milliamp hour battery. And just like the Z Fold 3, the Z Flip 3 is also water resistant with an IPX8 rating. Okay, the software for the Z Flip 3, we can say it's probably what most consumers will like, especially now with a much larger and usable cover screen. You can access your camera for taking photos or video while your phone's closed, and you can swipe between different apps and use them. Now, for interacting with certain things, you would have to use Bixby, which I personally dislike and don't really use it, but maybe something on the Flip 3 may change my mind, or others who feel the same way. But Samsung did make it 35% faster, so they say. I think what's even better though is when you fold it halfway. Get it? Halfway. Yeah? No? Okay, moving on. A feature called Flex Mode is there to assist when taking photos or videos just by setting your phone down somewhere and it's folded halfway. That way, your arm's not getting tired all the time just from holding your phone while taking a photo and a video. And the same can be done on video calls by using Google Duo, and you can share your screen. Now, for both the Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3, they'll be shipped with One UI 3, which will look and work exactly the way you want it to be according to Samsung. And just like the Z Fold 3, pre-orders for the Z Flip 3 started on the same day as Unpacked back on August 11th, and will be coming out on August 27th, with the price starting at $9.99. Okay, the Z Flip is much cheaper than the Z Fold 3, but come on, man! Stop making phones so darn expensive! Oh well. Can't get away with it, I guess. Also, both devices will have a limited edition that you can pre-order, which is known as the Galaxy Tom Brown edition for those that are interested. Alright, so what do I think of these two devices, and if I had to pick one, which one would I choose? Well, first of all, I think they're both great in their own uniqueness, and I really like the idea of foldable phones. Honestly, I haven't used the foldable device at all since the Motorola Razr when I had one back in high school. And to see foldable smartphones improve year after year, more competition is coming out, and I was like, this is gonna change just about everything. But if I were to get one of these phones right now, what will it be? Personally, I'd pick the Z Fold 3. Why? Because the capability it has as a folding phone allows me to use it as a tablet. Now, don't get me wrong, the Z Flip 3 is nice. That one just doesn't feel as different as the Z Fold 3, because when you get it, you just get your traditional rectangular smartphone. And actually, I had to think about this question carefully, because they're both great in their own ways, like I said. The Z Fold 3 just feels a bit different, which is what I really liked about my Galaxy Note 8. If someday Samsung was going to completely stop the Note series and I had to upgrade, please don't let that happen, please! I'd probably pick the Z Fold 3, and the only factor that could really make me go with the Z Flip 3 instead is the price. I mean, that's the only downside to the Z Fold, but hopefully that will go down quite a bit throughout the years. But I'm sure the Flip is going to appeal to a lot more people, since nowadays consumers are looking for compact sized smartphones. So which phone would you get? Feel free to express in the comments below. Now, Samsung did also talk about other things, such as the new Galaxy Watch Series 4 and the Galaxy Buds 2. Nothing crazy from what I've gathered, but there will be a link in the description to watch their Unpacked event for those that are interested to get that info. Well, that's it for today's video. Will you be getting up the new Galaxy Z series devices, or will you just stick with what you have? Or do you not care? Don't forget to rate this video if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe and bell notification button to be notified when I post a new video. Also, follow me on Twitter to see what I'm up to, as if I'm planning to work on a new video, I'll mention it on there first so that you get a sneak peek. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.